This Saturday I will go on national television, live. I will say horrible things on the air. Despicable things. And people will call me brave.
And welcome back to WTL. Where's the line, everybody? I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
You got it.
And, I mean, we talked college football.
We did.
Okay, and now we got to get into a little bit of your wheelhouse here.
Yeah.
That's Sunday night. That's Monday Night Football.
Woo!
But then also some UFC fight night.
There we go.
Some big names on this card.
Yes,
some guys
sir.
that you're a big fan of. So,
Yeah.
And you've been smacking it pretty well with the UFC lately.
Yeah, for sure. I
Hey.
mean, we've called some good cards, and we've got some big winners out of it, too.
I mean, give the devil his due, give the parlay pounder his due here. All right.
got it.
Let's start with Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
That's the Indianapolis Colts heading on over to the Big D, and I'm talking about Dallas taking on the
Yeah.
Cowboys. And the Cowboys, an 11-point favorite. Wow.
Yeah, Andy. This showdown involves an absolute mismatch when it
Yeah.
comes to offense. While the Colts have struggled to score the ball, 15.8 points per game, the Cowboys are finding no issue. They have literally figured it out that Zeke and Tony Pollard are just a 1-2 punch. It doesn't matter who gets the ball
Yeah,
early
yeah.
or who gets the
They
ball
finally
late.
figured that out.
They have
That's good.
figured out that they don't need Zeke to cover the whole thing. If even Pollard taking much more of the snaps once Zeke gets into the red zone, but I really think that they will cover this. I got Cowboys 26, Colts 14.
Wow. Man, double digits
Yep.
in the NFL. My solid play throughout this season in the NFL has been home dogs, but this is a different animal here. Dallas isn't a dog. They're a heavy favorite.
And they're at home.
And they're at home. And they're playing good. Dak's finally
Everybody's
found a
healthy.
rhythm. Everybody's healthy. They got their two-headed monster, as you mentioned, at running back. What do you think of this total here at 43.5? Because I'm getting conflicting numbers here. Of course, the public money, 70% of it's going in on that over.
Yeah.
But there's reason for pause if you're asking me, because Indianapolis, you already mentioned it, their offense is so bad, and they also keep other teams down.
No, Andy, I think this putter's out right at 40, so I am not going with the over. I don't know if I'm going to bet the under yet, but I have this right at 40 with my game pick.
Yeah.
So I really think that the Cowboys are going to get up by enough, 28 points, something like that.
Okay.
And, 28-14 and kind of cruise the rest of the way. So I really have this sitting there at, 40-41. So I'm not betting that over. Don't
And
like it.
The under has hit 4 of the last 5 times these two teams have squared off.
Yeah.
And Indianapolis has had better offenses.
Yeah.
This is maybe their worst offense in the last 5
For sure.
years.
This is a good spot.
So, yeah, and here, let me look at Indianapolis. This is insane. 14 of their last 17 games have hit that under.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
dating back to last season, right?
Yeah,
They're terrible.
Yeah, like you said, in 4 of their last 5 games against Dallas, the under.
Yeah.
So it's a good spot for the under. I just don't like betting unders particularly.
I know,
so
I do.
I really like I like the Cowboys.
All right, let's move on to Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And last week, that's where the Colts gave us some troubles. Not going to happen this
Not
week.
gonna happen this week.
Nolans, the Saints, heading on up to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, and the Bucs are the 3.5 point. You got the hook. You got that half point.
You got the hook.
3.5 point favorite at home.
You got the hook, but it won't matter. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're going down?
They're climbing up out of the sludge here in the NFC South.
Yeah.
Gonna make a good playoff team. Gonna surprise a lot of people at the end of the year here. Kind of ascend where they were supposed to be. New Orleans is 0-5 against the spread. On the road this season, this will not be any different.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers are going to put it on them, but they are going to win by a touchdown. Final Bucks 20, Saints 13.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be low scoring, and I do think the Bucs can cover that. I wish it was at 3 or even 2.5 would make me feel a lot better. But I think Tampa Bay can cover here as well. You talk about the Saints and how bad they've been against the spread.
Oh my God!
I mean, their last 9 games against Tampa Bay, they're 1-7-7.
Yeah,
I don't know why Tampa Bay just has their number.
Yeah, it's Tom Brady maybe, but I just don't like this. I don't like this game for the Saints. They really don't have anything going for them. Tom Brady is really trying to ascend this team into a good playoff team before it gets there, and I think they will do that. They got the makings of a good team once they get everybody back healthy. I think they cover here.
Now you talked about this being a low-scoring game.
Yes.
And this is a curious spot for me because the public money, the majority of the money is betting that under, and it's only at 40.5.
Right.
It's pretty low for an NFL game.
It is, but the Saints don't score. The Buccaneers haven't scored in recent history. So
who's their running back? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, Keyshawn Vaughn or
Leonard Fournette. Is he healthy? Is
no,
he not? What's happening?
So there's a lot of question marks.
All righty.
On both sides of the ball, and not a lot of scoring is going to go on. So if I had to lean one way, it would be towards that under. But with it being set so low, I think I'll sidestep it.
All right, Mr. Parlay Pounder, are you going to want to try and do an NFL parlay play, or are you going to roll that in with some UFC?
No, I'm just going straight 3-teamer.
Ooh, here we go.
Yeah, for the NFL slate, I got the Denver Broncos and Baltimore Ravens. We talked about it earlier in the show.
Yes,
that under is going to hit 38.5. That under is hitting.
So low. That's so low.
It is so low, but Ravens haven't been going very well, and the Broncos cannot score. So got a -110 bet there. Got the Minnesota Vikings covering the -3 at +105.
Okay. All right.
Really like that.
There we go.
And to round it out, just what I talked about, Tampa Bay Buccaneers money line at -190, putting $25 on this, Andy, to get $125 back.
Easy
money. 3-teamer.
There you go.
That's going to hit.
All right, so let's roll into another one of your wheelhouses here, Mr. Parlay Pounder.
Yeah.
That is UFC Fight Night, and let's talk about a guy that we love to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Tuivasa, Bam Bam, taking on Sergey Pavlovich.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Oh, boy, we're looking at Tui's an underdog once again.
Underdog once again, Andy. Tuivasa will take on Sergey Pavlovich at UFC Orlando, Saturday, December 3rd.
Australian taking on the Russian.
Yeah.
Thought Russia was at war, but whatever. We can still have him in a fight.
We can still have him in a fight.
There we go.
But no, Bam Bam is looking to add to his victory total, 15-4. The 29-year-old is fighting at 264 pounds, give or take. I hate to go against Bam Bam. I really do, because he's such an explosive knockout guy. It just seems that his last few fights have been, once you arise that much so fast, you have nowhere to go except fight the best fighters in the division. And that's what he's been running through lately. He's been having to fight title contenders, which they take their game so serious that they wrestle and do knockout power both at the same time. He tried to take
taekwondo, they're doing karate, and he's just a big dude that likes to punch people.
Exactly. You find the same stuff with Derek Lewis. He just wants to knock people out.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Sergey Pavlovich, he's kind of an all-around fighter. He still has knockout power.
He's coming off a win.
If he gets you on the ground, he can wrestle a little bit. So I am taking the Sergey Pavlovich money line at -195. I think it's just not great value, but I do think he's gonna get. I think he's gonna get the. I think he's gonna get the win over Bam Bam.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at the guys side by side, you can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
What about some of these props? Under 1.5 rounds is at -210 here for Sergey. Over 1.5 is +170 for Tuivasa. Can he get there? Can he get to 2 rounds?
Yeah, Andy. That is, I think it's a good one for. For just the over in general on the fight, which you're going to be able to bet, closer to the. I think it does go over 1.5 rounds, because I think Sergey is going to prolong this fight into the second round. So I really like the over on total rounds. If you're looking to throw some money down, you always have to look at Tuivasa to win by KO. That is going to be the moneymaker for anybody that is betting on Tuivasa, because he's not going to win by decision. He's going to win by breaking the guy's head open.
Yes, he is. All right, let's talk about the main event here, the welterweight bout. That's Stephen Thompson taking on Kevin Holland. Holland is the favorite. Yeah,
Thompson Wonderboy going against Holland. Like you said, this is the main event. This is what the whole thing's named after. Wonderboy comes into this his fights usually go the distance in the UFC.
Wonder Boy.
He has been badly outclassed in his recent unanimous decision losses.
They're both coming off losses.
Yes, to Muhammad and Burns. Thompson was outstruck by Muhammad 58-19 margin.
Oh,
and but these guys that they've been fighting, these guys are always at the top. Yeah. Obviously, Holland has just risen to that status. Thompson, Wonderboy, has been there for a lot of years. Holland just coming off a huge, really fast submission to Khamzat Chimaev, which is, the best fighter in the game right now at that weight class. Yeah. So, but the thing I like with Kevin Holland is he is now set to enter the octagon for the 4th time this year. This means this guy there's no rust. There's no...
no time off.
There's no time off. Wonderboy kind of, waits for the right fight and all that kind of stuff. Holland's just getting in there and, he's kind of the trailblazer at just getting in there and who do you want me to fight? Here we go. Yeah. So I really like the Holland pick at a -160, but I also like the over 4.5 rounds, Andy.
Really?
At +130. I think this goes the distance just by the way that these two guys fight. That not a lot of knockout. There is knockout power, but I do not believe this ends early. I think it goes all 5 rounds. Holland gets the decision at -160 as well.
Well, being the main card, there's a lot more prop bets out there on this one compared to the undercards.
Yeah.
Real quick, one that kind of caught my eye. Odds to win by submission, plus 600 here for Kevin Holland.
Yeah, that is a good bet, Andy. When you throw out these, odds to win by decision or odds to win by submission or KO, you're always kind of, flirting with your money there.
Yeah.
But Holland can grapple, he can wrestle, he can find Wonderboy and have a little bit of submission. Do not bet this for Thompson because he cannot get a submission. He's at plus 2,500. No, but if you're looking to throw some money on, do a little bit of a submission look at Kevin Holland. Like I said, look at that odds to win by decision as well at a plus 400 for Holland, which I think is going to happen.
Like that plus money.
But the money line right there for -140 or -160, depends where you get it, for Kevin Holland is the best bet of the weekend for UFC.
The weekend on the fight card in
Orlando,
Florida.
Got it, sir. Yeah.
Well, you heard the horn there, so thank you, Mr. Parlay Pounder, for giving everyone their UFC Fight Night fix.
Yeah.
That'll do it for us. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, subscribe, Twitter, and TikTok. Receive freely our free weekly and daily picks, short videos, feature-length episodes, all that good stuff. For Jobron, the Parlay Pounder, I'm Andy Klassen. Thanks, folks, for listening. This has been WTL.